Hello, campers. Welcome. This is a bonus live stream. Bonus for all the eBay seller summer campers. So welcome. And what I've done, because we had so much fun with the live stream on May 1st, Monday, is to invite some of my favorite seller friends, Cheryl and Scott. See if I can do the finger right, Scott and Diana. I feel like the Brady Bunch, right? Or Hollywood Squares. To come and share with me some of their best tips. I've invited Cheryl, Scott, and Diana because they all sell a variety. They're all across the United States. I think it's good to hear from people in different parts of the country. They all have different ways of sourcing, and they've all sold a variety of things, which is also good to hear about different tips for different kinds of categories. You know, what's working now, what stopped working. I just think it's great. I love to hang out with them. So welcome, Michael. Welcome, everybody. And so I'm going to start off with Diana, who's right below me. And Diana is from the great state of Louisiana. And on eBay, she is Queen Defines Fabulous Fine. And Diana and I have known each other a little over a year now. And Diana sells a variety of items. So Diana, what I wanted is just let everybody know a little bit about you and then share what you find is working right now. What is your top eBay selling tip right now?
Okay. Well, I've been selling full-time online since about 2016. I'm going on almost my 7th year. I'd kind of been a hobby seller on and off and have had an eBay account since 2000. I always loved it. I left my corporate job to sell online full-time. Haven't ever looked back since. And as for a tip right now, I'm finding that revising a lot of old listings to make sure all the item specifics are correct and making sure that your title is optimized for SEO is what's helping me the most. The new keywords can come out, they could change. You always have to think about how your customer is going to search for an item. So I try to really look at that with a keen eye and try to update so that hopefully it finds its potential buyer.
So in a recent revision, if you can just think of maybe one or two things, what are like one or two things when you were revising that you caught? Was it adding a keyword? Was it rearranging the keywords in the title? What's helped you the most like in the past week or two?
I'm going to say just incorporating some newer keywords, like Y2K is really hot. And I just hadn't considered that before because I'm feeling kind of old these days. So, if it applies to that or if it's vintage 90s, sometimes rearranging the words too, just to catch it for SEO, making sure your most important stuff comes first, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. And I've actually moved out quite a lot of stale inventory that way. And then, once you get things rolling, then your other stuff starts selling. So
it's so true because then eBay sees you as being of interest. And it helps your other items. That's so true. And I love that. Yes, the Y2K, the things from the 90s. We have to remember for those of us that are older than 30, that is vintage now. That's great. And Diana, you've been a member of my Love to Be Selling Insider for a little over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And being an insider, what's been the biggest help for you with your selling, being a member?
I just love being able to ask any questions and not being treated like you're stupid. I love that you can get other people's opinions, things, and they can share things that maybe you didn't think of, like on our What's Up Wednesdays. If you can post a listing you're having trouble with, and get other people's opinions. I absolutely love that. And I love to be able to help other people. I just like that it's more of like a camaraderie. It's not trying to outdo each other. We're all wanting to see each other be successful. And I absolutely love that kind of vibe in the group. So.
Absolutely. And that's what we do. And in fact, if people aren't familiar, What's Up Wednesday in my membership, Love to Be Selling Insider, we do a thread every week, and you can post any item. You can post any social media post to get quick feedback. In fact, we have one of our new members that just joined yesterday, and she actually put a question in our monthly Q&A post. So we have a monthly Q&A post. You can also post your listings. She got right to work. She's already working on a shoe listing, which is great, getting feedback from people, how to optimize a shoe listing. So yes, and it is. We don't compete. We all lift each other higher, which is fantastic. Yes. Good. Thank you, Diana. I'm going to go to Scott. Scott's in Virginia. Scott is Whoosh Trade on eBay. And Scott and I have known each other quite a while now. And Scott, because he's in Virginia and loves to come to New York, I've had the great joy of meeting him face to face and spending time with him. Scott sells a variety, and I wrote down, I was in your store checking it out, Scott. Scott sells health and beauty, knives, and jewelry. So his store is fun, fun, fun to browse. Scott, fill us in a little bit like how you came to eBay for eBay selling, and what's your favorite eBay selling tip right now?
Sure thing. My inventory is low right now, so I'm restocking. I sell all brand new items. I take a little different approach to it. I go out and source in bulk. I get a wholesalers ASD show. If you're not familiar with that, it's worth checking out. China, as everybody kind of calls it. So I import from all over the place, and I also have agreements with some local stores where I will take their overstock or inventory that they can't move. As long as it's a brand new item, new with tags, I'm very interested in that. I started back in 2017, probably just like everybody, just looking to do something different. And it fascinated me. I love entrepreneurship. I love calling my own shots and doing my own thing. I started doing this and just loving it. I think I've been a member. I'm trying to think back, maybe 5 years on this.
I think it is 5 years as an insider. I love your sourcing with networking with local merchants. That's one that I don't hear a lot of sellers do, and I think it's something you can do regardless of where you are in the United States. Sometimes the networking is with thrift stores or consignment stores, or people that run estate sales in your area. But also it's great to remember to network with merchants, because again, when they have overstock, they're very glad to sell to you because they're looking to move it, give you a great deal, and then you can flip it on eBay. So that is a great tip, Scott.
Always carry business cards with you. If you don't have business cards, get some printed. They're cheap to make. And tell people what you do. If you're waiting in line for coffee or getting your car fixed or anything, tell people always be sourcing, right? Always be listing, always be sourcing. But always be on the lookout for things and tell people what you do. And
because inventory comes from so many places. Now, Scott, not everybody might not be familiar with the ASD show, because you mentioned it, and I've sourced there too. So, Scott, do you want to let people know a little bit about the ASD wholesale shows, because they are great for sourcing?
It's twice a year. It's in March and August, and it's in Las Vegas, so you get to go to Vegas. It's a live show. You go, and it takes you probably 3 days to walk the whole place. It's incredible amount of merchandise. You actually get to physically touch the merchandise. You can look at it, weigh it, see if it's a good fit for you. You can look at the quality of it. It's not really pressure. There's people there trying to sell you stuff, but I've never been bombarded or felt pressured or anything. There's something for everyone there. A lot of companies that I found, especially overseas, they build some great stuff. They make some incredible products, but they have no idea how to market them. They don't have the website and the customer service and all the skills that eBay provides us. They just simply, they're manufacturers, they make it, and they bring it to these shows, and here you go. And if you're local there, you can actually take things with you at the end of the show.
I was going to say one thing about ASD that I noticed is that people buy the booths. And if you're not familiar with this, because I did talk about wholesale sourcing in summer camp, you can actually do this locally too, because I've seen it at the Javits when I'm there on wholesale shows. So if you attend a wholesale show, ASD, or one at a convention center hotel near you, if you're interested, definitely talk to the merchants, because a lot of them will literally sell everything that's in the booth, but on the last day, because obviously they need everything displayed. And you can often get, I had 2 merchants that would not sell to me wholesale because they only sold to boutiques, but they would sell booth items to me, and I could source quite a bit, because what I did was I took my big IKEA bags and I'm filling them up, right? It's like, it's cash and carry. But you'll have people buy the entire booth. You see them pulling up with trolleys and everything the last day. So
absolutely. And you can open an account with FedEx or UPS and get inside shipping rates with them. But
Yes.
and you can take that stuff. There's a FedEx place in most of the casinos or convention halls there. You just box it up and mail it to yourself.
And it's a great way, again, when you're looking, some of the wholesalers might have, they may want you to spend, for instance, like $3,000 or $4,000, which might be out of your budget, but you can buy part of what's on display, and it's all new in box. There's nothing wrong with it, but people have touched it, so there might be a little crushed boxes here and there.
But always be upfront. Tell them again your business card, but tell them what you do. I buy stuff and I resell it on eBay, and every once in a while I get somebody that says no. But
exactly. But the vast majority, they're there to sell.
Yeah. So,
great tip. And Scott, you have been with me an Insider for over 5 years. I checked.
Yeah.
And your business has grown and changed in the way you source. It's always wonderful to watch you as you grow.
I love this group, and I'll just say real quick, I really do like this group, and there's one thing I like about this group. It's professionalism and the positivity of the people. Everyone here pays to be here. So this isn't wide open to the public. You can't just go easily join it. You have to get in at the right time and all of that. So you're dealing with really good caliber people that are just like you, that have the same goals as you. And when you need that boost, when you need that push, this group is here for you. When you're working for somebody, you're kind of forced to go to the office, and they have structure and process in place already because they're a company. But when you're alone, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have that. And there's days, time, weeks, months that things are down, or you need that boost. You need that camaraderie. You need to type in there and say, hey, my sales are slow, or I'm need some motivation to get going, get my listings. So all that's there. Everyone will hold you accountable if that's what you need. They have accountability posts on here. So definitely think about that.
Thank you so much, Scott. Yes, we're all there to cheer each other on, encourage each other, and sometimes a gentle push. Or cheering on. Like, for instance, I remember, Scott, when you were so helpful with some sellers where they were going to their first wholesale show and they were nervous, and you were so generous and so kind and so encouraging and lots of tips, and then they would come back from the wholesale show and go, okay, this is what I did. We cheered them on and gave them some more tips. So just everything like that.
I'll help anybody out that wants it, absolutely. And I've turned to sellers, and there's times I've messaged sellers and said, hey, can we have a one-on-one? I've done that with Libby.
Yes.
Just can we have a quick one-on-one chat? There's something I'm interested in or want to talk to you about.
Absolutely. Lots of networking.
Yeah.
And insiders. Because again, we're not competing with each other. We're there to help each other.
Yeah.
And sellers of all levels. We have sellers that only have a few hundred listings up, and then we have sellers with thousands of listings up. Some are just single channel, like just eBay or just Etsy. We have some Etsy sellers, and then multi-channel that sell on Amazon, Poshmark, Mercari, Shopify, eBay. So lots of different things. And now Cheryl, who I've also had the joy, and I think Cheryl and I have known each other over 10 years. Cheryl's in Kansas. Her eBay store is Funkarelics, which you'll see on her name tag. So it's like good for the branding. And Cheryl sources estate sales and thrift locally in Kansas and sells a lovely variety. One of her favorite things to sell is ephemera. So if you love ephemera, you will certainly enjoy. Oh, and I see Scott's cat. we have our eBay helpers. So Cheryl, please introduce yourself again, how you came to eBay, and you have been selling for quite a while. And then what your top tip for us is.
Okay. I've been selling since 2001 on eBay. I started liquidating my mom's estate after she passed away in another city, and we had to haul it all back. And it was a great way to learn how to sell on eBay. And I found out I liked it. And so I stuck with it and expanded. And it's just been a really good ride. And I think my tip of the day would be to stay curious, to not be afraid to sell into new categories in new ways, to source differently. Things I sold over 20 years ago, I'm not selling now. You have to be able to pivot and change. And ways that I source have completely changed from just estate sales, just garage. I really started with garage sales and then went to estate sales. COVID hit, so I went to online estate sales. And at one point, I learned how to do claw games in Japan and won little plush toys, and I'm selling those because they're free. And so, just the oddest ways to source can present themselves, and it's important to be willing to try it and to look for new items. Just look at solds and see what's hot right now. Well, I've never sold that. Well, why couldn't I? And see if we can find what is selling, because the deal is in the buy. You got to get it cheap, and you got to get something somebody wants. And that's worked out well for me.
That's so true. With the profit is in the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm sourcing things that are in demand and in demand now,
Mm-hmm.
not a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and things do change. Even very popular items, the demand can change. Also, the color demand can change. They only want green. They don't want red. They only want plaid. They don't want solid. Only the giant sizes are selling. It's like a lot of different things. And Cheryl, you've been with me in Insiders for over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite thing about being a member of Love to Be Selling Insider?
Well, I am a sole proprietor. I do the whole thing. And the thing I really, really appreciate, Kathy, is your connections and your knowledge and your ability to find information that's accurate and to do it quickly, because I don't have a lot of time. I checked this morning and I put up over 100 American Girl listings in the last 3 weeks. And 61 of them sold, so it's great. But I don't have time to dig stuff out. I don't have time to be wrong and have to redo something. And so it's so important for me to be able to come to Insiders and ask, well, what do I need to do? eBay's got a change coming up. What do we need to do? So I don't redo stuff, which was happening before Insiders. So it's just really, and it's such a positive, as Scott said, a positive place to be, and it's calm. And even though we may not like everything that eBay does, and wherever you sell, you're not going to like everything they do, we don't panic. And we just learn how to pivot and how to make it work. And that's really helpful.
It's such a great point. Take the high road. How do we deal with this? We make it knock down, like, eBay, really? And then how to make the best of it. Absolutely. And how to keep the sales coming, because we're sellers. And in a way where the hours that we're working, the businesses that we have are supportive of what our lifestyle needs are. It's such a great point, Cheryl. So we're going to close this out. Diana, one last tip or insight or something you'd like to share with everybody?
I really love Insider too, because we talk a lot about the power of social media. And I think that's a skill that a lot of people maybe aren't as familiar with as it relates to eBay stores and Poshmark. And I absolutely love all of that. It's really helped me drive my business forward. So I was going to say, learning all of that and continuing to get better at it, it's an awesome thing.
Exactly. Gets us more traffic. I love it. Scott, one last thought?
Yeah, my final thought with this is believe what you hear and see in this group. Be very wary of, Cheryl reminded me of it when, hey, eBay, sometimes we get mad at eBay or something, or we don't understand something. Myths get started really easy, especially in these public Facebook groups. People say, all kinds of things, and it's not necessarily true. So this group, the information, if Kathy's saying something, it's accurate. She's checked it out. She's authenticated it. So always come back to this group and focus on this group as your source of information, not the public forums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people like to just complain a bit.
I
can understand that. But again, it's about what's going to work.
Information gets out there. Yeah.
What's going to work. If it's something we don't particularly care for, again, how can we make this work? How can I take advantage of this? How can I drive sales? How can I deal with this rule change or whatever it is and continue to flourish? And like Diana said, social media can really help with that because you're generating your own traffic. Cheryl, closing thought.
Just really consider being part of Insiders, and it's part of it is having fun while we're doing this too, and lifting each other up and then getting the information that we need, the social media, like Diana said, it's so important, and it's free. You can promote your stuff. You can learn how to do it and not have to pay for it. And so I just can't say enough how having this information has helped my business.
Thank you so much. And I see Michael Lamb. Michael's a wonderful insider. He's here. Hi, Patty. So good to see you. Anita says, Scott, thank you so much for the tip about ASD. She went and she registered. Gloria, hi. Melissa Philbrook's in the group. Very talented, wonderful artist. And she's one of our insiders. So hi, Melissa. I'm so glad you're with us. Hi, Jareen. How are you? Anne's also an insider, and she joined us live. So thank you. So everybody, great information, things that are working out for all these sellers. They all source differently. They're all in different parts of the United States, and they all turn to Love to Be Selling Insider to help keep them on track, uplifted, get accurate information, save time, and keep the sales coming. So we'd all love to welcome you in and join us in Love to Be Selling Insider. The link's in. Today is the last day for the Fax Action bonuses, so do join today because you get a 15-minute mini consult with me one-to-one on phone or Zoom. And you also get the eBay Perfect Listing, plus all the other benefits of Insiders, which is our membership group, our membership website, and all these wonderful sellers. So come join us. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheryl, thank you. Scott, Diana, back to listing.
Yep.
Bye-bye.